So we have Miss Veronica Cruz here, one of the amazing teachers at Cavazos and Mission. And so will you tag a little bit off of what your principal Nelly talked about with regards to those amazing field trips you guys offer kids?
Want to, I guess, go off on what she was talking about. What makes Cavazos special in regards to that is the teamwork and dedication that we all have towards the kids. I have friends who work at other schools, other districts, and they're like, you guys are always all over the place. We're like, yeah, because we work for the kids. We actually all stay behind if we have to. We really give everything that we can in order to give these kids these experiences. I, like Ms. Flores, came from a background where my parents migrated a few years. My dad, same thing. Mija, in Spanish, quiero que estudies. No quiero que dependas de nadie. I don't want you having to depend on anybody. You do it for yourself. So that was my personal experience growing up. And I, like these kids, didn't know what a restaurant was until I was already like in middle school,
Really?
High school. If anything, the most we had was, going to McDonald's like once in like 3, 4, 5 months.
Wow.
And being able to give these kids this experience and seeing like, this is what hard work can get you to really, really inspires me. And I'm pretty sure all my colleagues as well.
Sure. So, okay, I know we're going to talk a little bit about the field trips, but let's back up a little bit about what you said personally, because that's intriguing to me. So you had never been to a sit-down restaurant where they refill your tea, where they refill your tea?
Where somebody took my order at the table? Never, until maybe I was in middle school, high school, and I went with a friend. It wasn't even like my
Were
family
you in
who took
awe?
us.
Were you like, what's
I don't know what to
happening?
do here? Yes.
Yeah.
I was, yeah. So that was, and from there, and I show that to my kids as well. Like, all of your, my kids go to school where I teach. They've gone. The previous school where I was at was just about the same as Cavazos. So, I teach my kids, like, we have to be empathetic towards everybody, and maybe not everybody's had these experiences before. So, keep that in mind. And
Wow.
yeah.
That is really neat. Okay, tell me about the field trips. Tell me about some of those details.
So the field trip that we take for 5th grade, last year we went to Six Flags. I believe we went to Six Flags. And this year, because these kids were part of the COVID group where we didn't get to take them out to Corpus.
Oh, got it.
This year we joined 3rd grade with the Corpus to
Neat.
the aquarium and to the Lexington and a buffet. And they were just in awe of all the food and everything that's there. And they were really excited. And this year, I told myself, actually, that field trip kind of helped me out a little bit too, because this year I give myself a personal goal every year. And I'm like, this year I want to work on facing my fears.
Nice.
So I've had several things that I'm like kind of scared of. Riding roller coasters was one of them. And this year,
Love that.
yes, this year I had a few students who were like, Miss, are you going to get on the roller coasters with us? And I'm like, no, I'm like terrified. And they're like, Miss, come on, it's so much fun. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. By the end of the day, you couldn't get me off of the roller coasters.
Really? So you loved
excited.
it?
Yes, I did.
That's awesome. I did not know that story.
I did. I was super excited. I even took my kids back a few months later, and I'm like, let's go on the roller coasters. And they're like, Mom, they're so annoyed with me, like having to, like, oh my God, let's go to run, the next one. I ended up writing one on my own too at the end of the day, but
Wow, good job.
It felt good. Yeah.
Well, I saw you do something last night that most people are super fearful of. So we trained until almost 7 o'clock last night, then ate dinner, and then played some games, right? So just so you guys all know out there, we played a game that what we did was a pretend microphone is in the middle of everybody, and you flip up a card and it has one word on it, and whoever grabs that microphone and can sing a line of a song that has that one word in it gets a point. This girl ran away with it. So do you want to sing a line?
Oh, I don't know.
Come on, girl. What do y'all want her to sing?
I don't know about singing, but I do sing. Actually, I do sing along with my kids a lot.
Well, you sounded so good. We were like, does she sing for real life? Because it was really good, right?
I was like, I can't do it off the top of my head right now, but I do sing along.
Here,
with
give
my
her a
kids
word. Y'all can help us.
Huh?
Alive.
Oh, come on. That's kind of a hard one. I don't know. Give me a song. You guys can just give me a song.
Baby.
Huh?
Baby.
By Justin Bieber?
Yes.
Cause I was like, baby, 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 no. I can't do it right now. I have a few.
But let me tell you, she did this probably 50 times last night. And every card we flipped up, you knew a lyric and you knew the song that went with it enough that we could absolutely recognize that you were singing it really well. And I think, talk about facing fears, that's something that most of the people there were like, oh no, even if I know the song. And you just went out there and did it.
Well,
I'm impressed.
I'm pretty musically inclined, like, I guess, with lyrics and songs, not necessarily
My
like
husband
music,
is like that
but-
too. I am not.
And so anything that anybody says, that's like my thing. I was like, oh, and I think of a song lyric and I'm like singing. And so yesterday the girls are like, oh, what good is this gonna win? And I'm like, guys, I'm so tired. I'm not even gonna be competitive like at all. Like y'all are gonna take me on this one. And then I had a few of the girls like start off and I was like, wait, I know this. Like, why am I not doing this?
Doing it.
After a while, they were like, hey, you said you were gonna be competitive.
Right.
But that's kind of like the, I guess, a bond that we have where it's like strong enough where we can joke with each other. And
I love
I
that.
really, really enjoy working with all these wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. So we're very close, we're very bonded, and we truly, truly get along. And it's, it helps us actually in the classrooms as well, because I know at some point I had Ms. Garza back there asked me, can you please help me out with, what you're doing with the fifth graders? Like, can you help me with
Right.
tutoring with the third graders? And my daughter's in third grade, so I mean, it was a little.
Yeah.
I was like, of course I can help you, right? So, and I didn't do it just because
Right.
of that, but
No, I
it's a
understand.
little bonus. So I did. I helped her out with the group. I pulled a few of the kids after school, and I, tutored them with Miss Castro, who's not here with us today as well. Like, hey, you know what? Like, I just thought of this strategy. It's helped out the
Right.
kids a lot.
Right.
Try this
And
next few
that's
days.
the spirit of your whole school.
Yes.
Even when y'all are like switching classes and stuff, like, oh, this one needed to stay back and work a little longer on. Okay, got you. It's just the whole attitude about it that, not to take from another song, but we're all in this together. Right.
Yes.
And it really, really is a spirit that is at your school.
At Cavazos, very, very much so. And, you hear things from other campuses, and, I could never ask my,
Right.
my next door neighbor for something so
Little.
simple. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm like, here, take it, come.
Right.
I invite them, to the classroom if they need to. Or like I show them, how do you do this really quickly?
I love it.
Ms. Castañon and I sitting here and, we're in the middle of the training. We're like, hey, we're going to do this. Writing notes down
And
to each
getting
other. Like,
so
we're going to do
excited.
this. Okay, we can do this with this story. Okay, cool. And then, as we're sitting here, but because we have already, I guess, kind of on that little wavelength there, but it's like that throughout the whole campus. Like, I don't feel anything other than good things walking into my campus.
Right. Agreed. I feel the same thing. The last time I came and visited was a little surprise visit. I happened to be in town and you're like, come eat lunch with us. I was like, oh, no. I'm going to go ahead and head home. They're like, no, come on in. I'll share my lunch with you.
What
and
was
you bring
it?
it was the green spaghetti.
The green spaghetti.
I love that stuff. And they're like, oh, here. And
We
y'all
have
just,
plenty. Just
you
come.
did. Y'all were like, here, and just spread it out in front of me. I'm like, okay. I'm like, this is really good.
Yeah, and that's the kind of relationship that I have with my team where it's like, hey guys, I made a whole bunch of food. I'm taking y'all lunch tomorrow. And they're like, okay. So we
I
all
love
sit
it.
there, we have lunch together, and I share whatever it is that I shared with my family with them. Sometimes I get requests.
He's back there raising his hands. Yeah, yep.
No, but that's how truly close we are. It's really, really, truly a family in that campus. And I'm
Well-
very, very thankful to work there. And the example set by Ms.
course.
Flores is,
There's no doubt about that.
it's great leadership right there.
Yeah, and you can tell that just by the smile on your face. If you happen to not be watching, if you're listening, it's just from ear to ear. And when we look out on the people, I mean, y'all are all just smiling and so happy. I wish everybody could see that part too. And, and that doesn't mean there aren't hard times. That doesn't mean there aren't hard days. There are, but at the end of it, the neat part is you do have each other's backs, and you're there for each other. You're there for your kids.
We get through a lot together. Even at some point, even personal.
Sure.
Like I feel
Right.
confident enough that if I share something with, with my team or with
Right.
leadership. Like, I'm going to be met with empathy and
Right.
nothing but love and support.
Wow. That, if every campus could be like that, it would literally change the world.
And the kids feel it as well.
Of course they
The
do.
kids feel it as
for
well.
sure.
They're like, Miss Flores, can I please go tell me? Yes. Or we'll share, any little celebration. We're like, Miss Flores, she's like, we make a huge deal out of it for the kids because they're the ones that deserve all the celebration. Everything on that campus is for them.
I love that so much. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
sharing
for
with
having
us.
us.
Of course,
This is exciting. A little
this was
nervous,
so
but-
fun. Facing fears, right?
Facing fears, exactly.
You're like, I didn't even know I had a fear of a podcast. Didn't know I was going to do a podcast, but here we are.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So next up from Cavazos, we have Jolie Diaz. And I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, tell me something super special that you do in your own classroom.
Well, this year was a little special. I had a student mainstream from the unit.
Okay.
So I knew it was going to be a challenge in the beginning.
Okay.
He was nonverbal.
Oh,
very,
goodness.
not close to kids or
Sure.
even like a teacher, like he would say no and stuff like that. So
Uh-huh.
building that relationship with him, teaching, I'm going to get emotional. Teaching my students how to include him, how to just see the specialness of him, but not really highlight, not really say he has
love
this,
that.
but kind of be very like telling them, we can't be very loud because his ears are a little more sensitive. We can't really,
Right.
like little things that I knew
Right.
would trigger him. Kind
Sure.
of put my classroom to kind of be just that empathetic towards him, but not make him feel like
Wow.
awkward.
That
and
is
stuff.
a
And
life
I've-
skill.
and I got to see how my kids really embraced him. I got to learn, what, this student is good with him. This student probably triggers him. So me as a teacher, I learned that too, like to say, okay,
Wow.
I can group him with these type of students, but not those type of students.
Got it.
Because I know it's going to cause problems. And in the
course.
beginning, we had some
Hard.
low. And Miss Gonzalez was a great help that she would come in and help me and sometimes take him out. But it was really awesome at the end. She would look at my door and I would say, it's okay, I got it. And he learned how to regulate himself. So that was something that it was really special that he would say, break. I said, okay, go take your break.
Love
and he would come
that.
back and kind of just go into it and stuff. So that is something rewarding that I took from this year that I said, okay, I can do this. Like I was able to do that.
You know what I love? I'm going to stop you there for a second. I love what you just did. You said something that was rewarding. And what is interesting to me is you were looking at it, this was so rewarding for me. But what you were doing for him is just amazing. So don't sell yourself short on the difference you made in his life forever and in the rest of your kids.
And for my
Wow.
birthday, his mom sent me a video and he told me, happy birthday, Ms. Diaz. I love you.
Wow.
And I just started bawling and I had to show my husband. I said, he sent me a picture like talking and telling me that it was my happy birthday. And I showed it to my colleagues and I'm like, oh my God, like he's talking, like he is talking. And I think you saw him last year, the little boy that came, that he was talking
Yes.
like to us and
Yes.
stuff like that. So that was like, I even told his mom, and I gave her a lot of kudos. Like, you're an amazing mom as well. I have my own son with special needs, and so as a parent, you kind of feel like, oh my God, how is the world going to treat him?
Sure.
So that's kind of how I took it. Like, how would I want my child? I want somebody to empower him, not to look at the disability, but to say,
Right.
you know what, you're more than that. Like my child has Down syndrome, and I always say that's not his identity.
Right.
He's more than Down syndrome. He's loving, he's caring, he's somebody that is special. And when he waves to people, I know he's saying, hey, it's going to be okay.
Wow.
And so that's how I see now. Like, I guess that's why God sends us special
Yes,
kids, because
yes.
you learn to see him in a different
Right.
way. And I'm like, you know what? He's more than that. Our kids are more than he's just autistic. No, he's more
More
than
than
just
that.
autistic. Or he's this. No, he's more than that. That's just something the doctors say he is. But no, my child's not Down syndrome. That's not his identity. That's not who he is. It's just something that it's just part of him, but it's not who he is. So I guess that's just my story and how I see that in the classroom.
So I had a vision of what I was going to name this podcast, and you just renamed it. Kenny, will you make a note that this is going to be called It's More Than That? He's more than that. They're more than that. There it is. They're more than that. Because it's not even just the students, but you guys are more than that. Think about, you guys haven't talked about, well, this lesson plan that I did was mighty fine, and although you're doing that, obviously, to make the strides that you're making, all of you are doing more than that. Whether it's the beans in the back of the truck, or it's the extra time on a Saturday to raise the money for the field trip, or it's the extra time that you're talking about with how can I help this little guy shine? How can I help the others help him shine? It's more than that.
Yep.
You just named the podcast and you didn't know it. What an inspiration you are. Oh my goodness.
So
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to
I
share
think
about that
that's
journey?
Just that in itself, how even as me as a teacher, as an educator, as a mom, we learn, and our kids, just looking at our kids, because it's really easy to say, you know what, they just have a behavior and that's it.
Right.
And we just label them. And
Yes.
they do.
And
And
that's
it's
true.
hard. And there's going to be moments that are hard. I know with my personal child, I'm not saying it's going to be all wonderful. It's going to have hard moments. He's almost 3. He doesn't walk yet. So I know it's hard and there's challenges. But when we look at it, okay, but he can do this, but he can do that. Like there's little milestones. Yes, he's not walking. He should be walking, but now he can stand up.
But
So
he can do more than that.
But he can do more than that. Yeah. And there's little things.
So good. So good.
So,
This is the spirit of Cavazos. It really is. Just all put into one cute little body right here across from me. Yeah. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you for sharing. And thanks for being personal, not just about your own life, but about that sweet little kid in your class and how the other kids also changed for the good because of you and because of him.
Thank you.
What an honor. Thank you.
you.
Thanks, Julie. Next up from Cavazos, we have Monica Mejia. And so could you tell us, I heard that you do something kind of special in social studies. Could you tell us what you do?
Yes, so there's a lesson that we have to teach about like symbols, a pledge, and a motto.
Okay.
And I really like to go a little in depth on the motto because I feel like it sets a positive vibe in there. The one I've been doing for the past 2 years is don't be shy to try, because I have a lot of students who...
I love that.
I have a lot of students who are very shy to come out of their bubble when we're doing like open discussions, or I have them, think, pair, share, and some don't want to talk. They're afraid of what like someone else might say, or even when it comes to like quizzes, assessments, they don't get the grade that, their parents maybe instill on them, or sometimes teachers as well, they get that. They feel the pressure. And I always tell them, I'm not looking for hundreds. All I want to know is that you try your best in anything that you do, in any classroom that you go into. So long as you know that you tried your best, that's what matters to me.
Love
and it's
it.
just moving up from there, So the motto that I like to do is don't be shy to try. So whenever a student, I'll call on a student, or I'll have volunteers, and they stay a little too quiet, I always tell my class, remember, boys and girls, don't be shy too. And they all respond to try.
Oh, I love
and
it.
It makes my heart warm when I'll just be walking around the classroom in the power zone, right? And I'll be listening out to them having their little open discussions. And I'll hear some students, even tell them, remember, don't be shy to try.
Oh, they're applying
And it just warms my heart to hear that they do that even outside of the classroom, and they remind each other or they'll help each other. And it just makes my heart so warm to know that, not just that they're going home with the learning part, but as well as, applying that even at home with their siblings, their parents, their friends, and that it's more than just the teaching, it's more than that, like they said. And that's also very rewarding and makes my heart very happy.
And you know what I also love about that? I could just visualize a kid being an adult and going on a job interview and being nervous about it, and that coming back in their mind saying, okay, I remember she taught us, don't be shy to try. I got this. And that is a life skill that you just pass on forever and ever and ever, right? And when we can do that as teachers, we become lifetime teachers and not just test time teachers. Right?
Just like for this podcast, I was very nervous right now. And in my mind, I'm telling myself, come on, if I'm teaching that, I have to live by that as well. So here I am. I'm not shy to try.
So good. So good. I couldn't have said it better myself. I love that so much. Dang, we already have one really good name for the podcast, and now I feel like we have a second really good name. We're going to stick with this one, but man, I really like that a lot. Don't be shy to try. I love it so much. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And thanks for not being too shy
To try.
Next up from Cavazos, we have Miss April Salinas, and she has a really unique perspective on this principal and this school and some of the things they do. April, could you share that with us?
Yes. Hi. Hello. So I got to meet Miss Flores when I was, I think, I was in pre-K, right, when I started my elementary school. And she was also the nicest, always the nicest person in the office, always greeting us, so friendly and always very motivating. And everything that she mentioned about the field trips, I got to experience them starting in second grade. First time I went to a water park, Schlitterbahn. I got to go to the fifth grade. I was in fifth grade when I got to do San Antonio. So that was the first time ever, the Alamo and Rainforest Cafe. So I got to experience that as a student. And it was the best.
And that was because of a foundation she was laying and the dedication of the teachers around you to make sure those things happen. Did you realize as a kid it was special, or could you?
I did, because as she mentioned, I also had that same experience. I grew up as a migrant family, so we would travel to Wisconsin every summer, and we would come late. My parents also instilled in us, try your best. I guess my parents would say, we can't really give you much, but, your education is something that no one can take away from you. So, we knew we wanted to go to school and, always try our best. And in school, they would tell us, when we had our Friday assemblies, querer es poder. So anything that you want with your heart, you can get it as long as you try your best in everything that you do.
Wow, man. Y'all are so well spoken and just sending out this message, I feel, of you're for the kids, but you're not for the kids just for today. It's for the kids forever.
Yes, that's correct. So I got to experience that as a student. And then when I came back, I knew I always wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be, those teachers that motivated me growing up. I can name you my teachers from pre-K all the way, all my elementary school. So they were amazing, amazing teachers. Even though, I would come late in December, they never gave up. They always, motivated me. They encouraged me to do my best. And, here I am now. I'm a teacher, and now I get to be in that perspective as a teacher. And that's something that I want to, be for my students, motivate them and encourage them, because I was there.
Sure.
So I understand them.
And you have that neat perspective too as a migrant. So when you have students who are in those same shoes, you have empathy for them and can understand them and make sure they're feeling very welcome. Every minute they're there, it's not about the minutes they're not there. It's about the minutes you are there.
Yes, and I've been blessed to this will be my ninth year teaching, and I've been working a lot with bilingual students, and they're just amazing. And I was there because I didn't know the English language until I started kinder. So all we would speak at home was Spanish. So I get to understand my students and help them as much as I can with that special population of bilingual students.
What a blessing you are. That's awesome.
No, I do try my best. And now, as working in Cavazos as a teacher and with Miss Flores, it's been an amazing, amazing experience for me. And these wonderful teachers that are here, they were my boys' teachers as well, and I trust them. They're amazing. And my kids are always so happy, telling me the stories that they do with Miss Mejia and everything. So, it's a blessing, and being at Cavazos and working at Cavazos is amazing.
Y'all are very blessed, and it's neat that you recognize that. That's a big deal. Well, thank you for being a blessing to us.
No, thank you for having us. It's been amazing here at the ranch, and all the wonderful, wonderful information, everything that we're learning, so we can go back and apply it with our kiddos. That's
awesome.
Thank you.
So we're doing the TEACS training. What's your favorite thing you learned about the TEACS training?
The breakouts.
Yes.
I think that's something amazing that I guess I didn't realize, or that I'm learning, and I think it's something that I do. I'm ready to apply now in third grade, so I'll be doing third grade for the first time.
You're looping, right?
Yes. So it's amazing. We'll be working hard this year.
Well, congratulations. And I can't wait to see what happens.
Thank you so
It's gonna
much.
be
Thank you for
amazing.
having us.
My pleasure. Thank you. So here with us from Cavazos, we have Miss Amanda G.
Yes.
Yes. So I've had a few little birdies, like a lot of them, tell me that you are literally the sunshine that just walks in the door and that you just advocate for your kids like nobody else. So could you tell me a little bit about your grade level that you teach, or have I heard that maybe you deal with lots of grade levels?
So at my campus, I do resource and inclusion. I am a special education teacher.
Okay.
I've been doing that for 8 years now. I absolutely love what I do. I work with students from pre-K all the way to 5th grade. And
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a big range
a
of
lot.
students. Yes. So, we see everything from both the littlest ones to the
Sure.
big ones.
So tell me one of the biggest challenges with working across so many grade levels.
So I would see that I feel like the biggest challenge, like even here, being here, I think like this is going to help me tremendously. The way that you're showing us with these breakouts with the teaks, like that's going to really help me, because the biggest challenge also is having to know the teaks the way that like you're opening up our eyes to see, how in depth we can go with them, because I work with such a large range of students. I have to be able to, navigate and provide everything that they need. And I feel like every time I come here, this is my second time here at the ranch, and the first time, we cried together.
Yes.
And I truly I try to do my best to do as much as I can for them, just because I see them as my kids. They are my students.
Yep.
I love each and every one of them, and I do try to do my best to make sure that I'm collaborating with teachers, that I am, doing everything that I can. And for me, it's not something that just comes from, I guess, my heart, like
Very
the way
naturally.
that I just love them and I want to do the best that I can for them. Like Miss Diaz was saying, the student that she has, I cried when I saw the video that she sent from his mom, just because we've worked so closely with these students.
Right.
And it's just so like you said, it's rewarding for us, but for me, I also think about how they're going to be in the future, and seeing the way his mom works
Right.
with them too. And that's just one student. So all the students that I work with, I want that for all of them to,
Right.
be successful. And that's why I do what I do. And I feel that, I don't know, I can blabber forever. So
Keep blabbering, girl.
but I guess what makes my classroom special, from the beginning, I've always done my best to make it a place that feels safe and warming. In my classroom, I do have a calming corner for that specific student that I was working with Miss Diaz. When he did have meltdowns, or any of my students, I have these little weighted stuffed animals where
I love it.
like posters that remind them how to breathe.
Okay.
I work closely with the behavior specialists from our department, or the special education department, and they help us create little cards that remind them what they can do, whether they maybe they want to take a little break, maybe they want to count backwards from 10, maybe we breathe together, different strategies.
Right.
And
Coping
he was
skills.
able,
Sure.
yes, coping skills, and he was able to by the end of it choose which one he wanted and do it on his own. So the growth from when we first start working with them towards the
Right.
end, it's just amazing, and that
Right.
in itself is so rewarding.
I love to hear how you're using your environment to help your kiddos be successful. So I wrote a book called Posters to Passion about that, what should be around us, the things we hang on the wall, the manipulatives that we use, the weighted stuffed animals. What a great example of that, that should be team teachers with us, right? The things on our walls, the things in our classrooms, they need to be there for a purpose. And it definitely sounds like you are doing exactly that. I
Yes.
love that. So does that weighted stuffed animal, when he would hold it, did you just almost see?
Oh yeah, for
Just
sure.
see him calming?
Yeah, and it's funny because I have students, who speak Spanish and also who speak English. So for the students who spoke English, they named him Chip, and for the students who spoke Spanish, his name was Pepe. So
That's
they each
awesome.
had their own,
Connection.
And I also I just like to be silly. I like to be funny. I like to make it fun. I like to do things out of the ordinary, because I don't care. I'm doing it for the kids. And if somebody else looks at me and is what is that girl doing? It's don't worry about it. It's for the kids. I also have a little puppet that I like to use with them sometimes too. Like her name is Lala, and I just actually bought another one. It's gonna be like a boy version, but like it helps the kids, especially like when I'm teaching like phonics with them, like engaging. Like sometimes it can get boring when you're doing these kinds of things where they feel like they're coming to this room and they feel like in the beginning when I first started, there were students who like didn't want to go because they didn't want to be different. They didn't want to be stand out from anybody else.
Right.
But then as like I was working with them and they enjoy coming so much that some of the other students who don't come to my classroom are like, I want to go, I want to know what's going on in there. And so I feel like that's heartwarming too, like to know that like they feel empowered now, like they want to come, they want to do better. So I feel like everything that I do, I do it for them.
And I can tell that, and I see exactly why all the other teachers call you the sunshine. I see it. I definitely see it, and I could see your room being a ray of sunshine for your kids. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, that makes my heart happy to know that they think that. Yes. Yeah, and that doesn't happen because of one activity or because of one day. That happens over a period of time.
Yes.
And them seeing you day in and day out with the kids who need the most.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you. Yes, of course. Thank you so much. We're here with one final amazing teacher, Mr. Edgar G. from Cavazos. And could you tell me a little bit about not your classroom, but the whole school and the multi-levels that you work with? Tell me a little bit about that, Edgar.
So I'm a special ed teacher. Last year was 2 years ago was my first year teaching. I did the 1st through 5th grade special ed unit. This past year, I did the early childhood unit, which is from 3 years old all the way to 5 years old. And this year, I'll be doing resource. So through these opportunities that Ms. Flores has given me, I've learned that across all the grade levels, the TEKs are kind of the same, but they're just at a different and higher developmental level. But what I've also noticed was that our school has a very large special ed population, and this ranges across pre-K all the way to 5th grade. So we have a very strong special ed team. And along with that, we have a lot of support from our teachers. We're able to collaborate at any moment with them. And what I've heard talking to other teachers in other districts is, oh, you don't get pushback? I'm like, no, like we have a very strong team. If I need help, if I need to learn something, I go and ask them. If they need to learn something too, they come and ask us. And we're all willing to help each other, all at the end for the benefit of these kids. And it's like, for example, I know Ms. Flores talked about all the field trips. For our kids, like you hear other schools say, your special ed kids go to these field trips too. It's like, yeah, they do, but we accommodate, we make it happen. We make it happen. And I know, like how she said, the pre-K, the pre-Kers, they bring the field trip to them. So our students were going out to a field trip might be too overstimulating. They still get to experience a field trip coming to them as well. And those who can handle going out, we have our special ed team to support, but we also get the support from our gen ed team as well. And it's awesome. Yes, it's something it's really beautiful to see.
I love that
because you don't see it often. But the support at Cavazos, it's perfect. And thank you, Ms. Flores, for everything you've done, and thank you all for everything y'all have done as well.
I love it so much. I love it.
So I can say we get a lot of support. And even when I first started, and I'll give Ms. Flores a big shout out, I came in as a special ed facilitator, and I was already towards the end of my college years.
Sure.
And I needed to complete my clinical teaching. Ms. Flores opened the opportunity, and she gave me an 8 position, and she kept motivating me, like, take your test, take your test, take your test. I took it all within like a month, got certified. She was able to bring me in to teaching position. And my first year, every day, I think I went to her office and I was like, what can I do better today? Or after every art, I was like, what can I do better?
I love him.
And she would just give me feedback. I would tell her, like, give it to me raw, just the bad, the good, everything. And she would. And
she will, yes.
And I think that's allowed me to grow a lot. And like I said, I get nervous a lot. I'm a little shaky right now.
You're doing great.
But she's allowed me to open up a lot more, and it's helped me.
Well, I think she saw in you what I'm seeing in you right now is that genuine heart for kids. You know, Nelly and I have talked for years. You cannot teach somebody or make somebody have a heart for kids, and you have it. You're the natural. And she knew it. She knew it when she saw it. And I know Nelly, she pushes, and she also knows when to pivot. But she pushed you in all the right directions for all the right reasons because your heart is all the right places for all the right reasons. Thank you so much, Edgar. I appreciate you. Yes, sir. Thank you for coming. All right, so I'm going to wrap up this very important podcast with Miss Nelly. She is the principal of Cavazos. Nelly, do you have any parting words? You've heard your teachers talk. You know their hearts. You know your kids. Leave us with something to think about and ponder.
All I want to say is that it is really a pleasure, and I am very fortunate that I have been given the opportunity to work with these amazing teachers. I think it's just God puts us where we need to be. Mm-hmm. And
Agreed.
God only gives us as much as we can handle. And I think we spend so much time together that, like you said, we're a big family. Mm-hmm. We don't always agree.
That's okay.
But communication. We talk. The teachers, I think that they feel very comfortable. Sometimes a little bit too comfortable. But they feel comfortable enough to come and share. And very fortunate that they're not afraid to say, like when things are getting hard, they come and say, and I said, okay, let's work together. And it's like I think it was Miss Cruz that said it, teamwork. Mm-hmm. They help each other out. Sometimes by the time they come, they'll just come and say, Miss Flores, we had this happening, but we fixed it like this. Good.
Beautiful.
Good job. It's not just coming.
Problems with solutions. I like those.
Yes. We empower them. They know that I trust them. And I tell them, like, kind of like what we talked about, you just keep us, we need to stay out of trouble. We cannot do anything that's illegal. Right. Anything
Always
else.
Smart.
Yes. Anything else we can fix. But they have that. I believe in them. And I genuinely show it to them that I believe in them. And I think that's what we need to do as administrators. We need to it's not a power struggle. Sure. It's about working side by side. I tell them, I'm never going to ask anything of you that I'm not willing to do myself. And it's not just words. I show it with actions, and they see it, and they see that it's genuine. And at the end of the day, it's about the kids. And I always tell them, please do not take this personal. I'm doing this for the kids.
For the kids.
Please remember that all my decisions are made based on kids. That. Yes. So don't take it personal. I love you, but we need to do this.
For the kids.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Nelly, thank you for making an impact, not just on your own campus, but for kids for generations that will probably never even know who to say thank you to, but I know who to say thank you to. So thank you for the impact you've made on education, on your campus. Clearly, you've heard these guys talk about you, and you've heard the differences they've made, and that starts from the top. So I appreciate you so, so much, and thank you for raising your staff and raising a whole campus of kids that will forever impact our world for the good.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us here.
My pleasure. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.